One day in 200,000 BC, an ancient human kicked a rock. Not on purpose, not as sport, not as the opening chapter of a 200,000-year obsession that would eventually consume entire economies and cause grown adults to cry in public in front of complete strangers. He was walking. His foot made contact with a rock. The rock went somewhere. Another ancient human watched it go. And something happened in that moment that cannot be fully explained by science or archaeology or any field of study that has ever attempted to understand why human beings care this much about a ball going into a net. The rock was the ball. The other ancient human was the goalkeeper. The World Cup had begun. Nobody knew this yet. The rock did not know this yet either. The goalkeeper ancient human had not chosen to be a goalkeeper. He was simply standing in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is the precise definition of being a goalkeeper, and has never changed in 200,000 years. If you want to see how this all started, the Ancient Humans Invented Football video is linked in the description. That video covered the first argument about whether the rock crossed the line, the first goalkeeper panic, the first person who kicked the rock the wrong way and was never forgiven. Watch that first, then come back. The rock is heavier than it looks. We are back. Good. Because now it is 2026, and the World Cup is here, and the ancient humans are absolutely not ready for this.
Chapter 1. Qualification. Before you get to the World Cup, you have to qualify. This is the rule. The rule exists because if everyone just showed up without qualifying, it would be chaos, and also you would have 32 tribes who have never won anything in their lives, all convinced they are the tribe, which is already what happens after qualification, so the rule mostly just adds paperwork. Qualifying in the ancient world means winning 8 consecutive matches against neighboring tribes. 8 wins. Perfect record. Not 7 wins and 1 draw, 8 wins. Ancient humans do not understand draws. A draw means both tribes go home without winning, which means both tribes go home confused, and confused ancient humans are a safety hazard. In the ancient world, there was no such thing as a draw. You either caught the mammoth or you did not. The mammoth was either caught or it was not. There is no partial mammoth. There is no VAR review for mammoth disputes. The mammoth situation has a clear outcome, and the ancient humans apply this logic to football with a clarity that modern football administrators have been trying to legislate away for decades. 8 wins. No notes. The tribe that qualified won 8 consecutive matches against neighboring tribes and won every single one. The coach drew a dirt diagram before every match. The dirt diagram started as a simple circle with 2 lines through it. By the 8th match, the dirt diagram had zones, arrows, a pressing structure, and what appeared to be a sophisticated prediction about set pieces that nobody fully understood, but everyone nodded at because the full mammoth hunter nodded first, and when the full mammoth hunter nods first, the meeting is technically over. He is now head of tactical analysis. He nodded first. Leadership potential. Chapter 2. The Journey. Getting to the World Cup requires a very long walk. The tournament is in America. America is extremely far away. One ancient human tries to explain the concept of a long-haul flight to the rest of the tribe. He describes a metal container that flies through the sky at high speed and arrives in a different place in approximately 9 hours. The tribe looks at him. He describes it again. The tribe continues to look at him. He draws a picture of it in the dirt. The tribe looks at the dirt picture and then back at him with the expression of people who have seen the dirt diagram before and are not convinced. They get on the flight anyway, because qualification was 8 wins, and 8 wins earns you the right to believe things that do not make sense.
The ancient human who is too excited to sleep has been awake since Tuesday. His heart rate has been doing CrossFit since Tuesday. He is carrying 17 pieces of bark with face drawings on them because someone told him that celebrities give things to fans at big tournaments, and this is his version of that. He does not know what an autograph is. He gives bark to everyone he meets at the airport. Most people accept the bark politely and then put it in a bin when he is not looking. One person keeps it. He becomes this ancient human's most important fan. Nobody sleeps on the flight. Everyone says they will sleep on the flight. This is what everyone says before every long-haul flight in the history of long-haul flights. It is not a prediction. It is a ritual statement. The ritual statement has never once been true. The plane lands 9 hours later, and everyone who said they would sleep on the flight is still awake and also somehow angrier than before they boarded.
Chapter 3. The Host City. The ancient humans arrive in Greensboro. Greensboro is not huge. Greensboro is not flashy. Greensboro will not be the first city you think of when you think of America. Greensboro thinks this is fine. Greensboro is extremely unbothered.
Greensboro has been here the whole time, and it will be here after everyone leaves, and it is quietly confident about this in a way that very large cities never quite manage. But here is the thing about Greensboro. You can get anywhere in 20 minutes. 20 minutes! If you have ever tried to get anywhere in a major city, you understand what this means. If you have ever sat in traffic for 45 minutes to travel 3 miles, you understand what this means on a spiritual level. The ancient humans have spent their entire lives walking across prehistoric plains that took 2 days to cross, while avoiding hyenas and sudden terrain changes and the general uncertainty of being alive in 200,000 BC. 20 minutes to anywhere is not a commute, it is a gift, it is a miracle. It is the kind of thing you do not realize you needed until you have it, and then you cannot stop talking about it.
One ancient human touches a traffic light for 11 minutes. Nobody stops him. The traffic light continues to do its job. The ancient human continues to touch it. This interaction resolves itself naturally without intervention, and this is the correct approach. The facilities are incredible. The weather is perfect. The mood is elite. Someone plays golf and gets sunburned immediately because ancient humans did not evolve adequate melanin response for sustained American sunshine, and this is a medical fact that did not stop anyone from staying outside for 4 hours. The sunburn is significant. The sunburn is also somehow funny the next morning and will be referenced for the rest of the tournament. Also, one ancient human carried another ancient human on his back in the gym. This was done for fitness purposes. The one being carried will not stop mentioning it. The one doing the carrying considers this payment for the golf clubs he received and considers the debt settled. The carried one disagrees. The debate continues. This is the actual source of tension in the camp, not the opposition, the golf clubs.
Chapter 4. The Opposition. There are 32 tribes at the World Cup. Every single one of them believes they are the tribe. This is the specific cognitive challenge of the World Cup. You cannot have 32 tribes all simultaneously correct about being the tribe. The mathematics does not support this. The tournament structure does not support this. Only one tribe can be the tribe by definition. The other 31 are incorrect. The other 31 do not know they are incorrect yet. They will find out during the group stage. The group stage exists specifically to tell people they were incorrect. It does this efficiently and in front of very large crowds and with significant television coverage, and this is considered entertainment.
One tribe arrives from South America, and their ancient human does not appear to be playing the same sport as everyone else. He plays as if he personally invented football in the offseason and is now demonstrating it to the rest of the field at a pace they cannot quite follow. He scores goals in the way that other people breathe, automatically, without apparent effort, while also being approximately the size of someone who should not be able to do the things he is doing. This is not encouraging if you are one of the 31 other tribes. Another tribe arrives from France. Their ancient human scored in the opening match twice, and both times he looked mildly inconvenienced by the situation. Like he had other things to do, but the ball kept ending up in the net, and there was not much he could do about it. He apologized to nobody. This was the correct response. An English ancient human scored 1 goal. He was immediately treated as if he had invented fire. He did not invent fire. Fire was invented by someone in 200,000 BC who did not have an agent and therefore received no credit, and this is a tragedy that the football calendar has never adequately addressed.
Chapter 5. The First Match. Kickoff. The ancient human striker has been waiting 28 years for this moment. Not him specifically, he's too young to have waited 28 years, but his father waited 28 years, and his father is in the stands, and his father has a cigar as a backup plan in case things go badly, and this is the most reasonable backup plan in the history of sports attendance. The crowd is roaring. 60,000 ancient humans in one location all making the same sound simultaneously is technically an acoustic phenomenon, and practically the most alive any human being has felt since fire was invented in 200,000 BC, and one person finally got credit for it. The adrenaline is spiking. The chaos is loading. The goalkeeper on the opposing side is standing in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is the definition of being a goalkeeper, which has not changed. Then, a goal.
The kind of goal that makes 60,000 people stand up simultaneously, spill their beverages, grab the nearest stranger, and make sounds they have never made before in their lives and will probably never make again. The kind of goal that the ancient human striker has been practicing since the moment he could stand up without falling over. Then another goal. Then a third. Then a fourth. Final score, 4-1.
first World Cup match in 28 years, and the ancient humans show up like they have been here the whole time. Like 28 years was just a brief administrative delay. Like the World Cup simply had some scheduling issues, and they are glad to be back. The father in the stands puts the cigar away. The backup plan was not needed. The backup plan has been retired with full honors.
Chapter 6. The Other Strikers. The ancient human striker is not the only striker at this World Cup. Somewhere else in the tournament, a French ancient human scored 2 goals in the first match. Both goals happened quickly. Both goals happened with a calm efficiency that suggested the French ancient human had done this before and would do it again, and found the entire process of scoring at a World Cup approximately as surprising as finding out the sun rose this morning. Elsewhere, an Argentine ancient human scored 3 goals. 3 goals in one match, like it was a weekend activity he does to stay sharp. Like scoring hat tricks at World Cups is the kind of thing you fit in between other commitments. He said thank you to nobody after the 3rd goal because you do not say thank you for things that are simply expected to happen. An English ancient human scored 1 goal and was awarded immediate recognition by the entire English support as the greatest achievement in the history of English football. 1 goal, celebrated as if it solved a problem that had been running since 1966. The celebration lasted 4 minutes and 15 seconds. The goal itself took 2. This ratio is considered appropriate in England and has been for 60 years. The ancient human striker watched all of this and said, "It is not about who scores, it is about whether we win." He is a striker. He is absolutely trying to score. Both of these things are true simultaneously, and neither contradicts the other. And this is the specific genius of the modern striker, who has learned to say the right thing while also doing the other thing.
Chapter 7. The Ice Hockey Detour. Before the second match, the ancient human squad is given a free evening. Elite footballers, when given a free evening, make extremely questionable relaxation choices. This is universal across all eras of football. In 200,000 BC, a free evening meant sitting slightly closer to the fire than usual. In 2026, a free evening means going to watch ice hockey. Ice hockey is a sport where large humans on thin blades skate at very high speeds and periodically hit each other against a transparent wall, and this is considered normal. The Carolina Hurricanes are playing the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The series is tied. Everything about this situation is designed to induce maximum stress in the viewer. The ancient human who has never watched ice hockey before watches the first 2 minutes of ice hockey. He is now standing on his seat. He does not know what icing is. He does not know what a power play is. He does not know what the blue line does. He does not know any of the rules. He has never seen this sport before in his life. None of this information is relevant to how he feels right now. A large human has just hit another large human at extremely high speed against a transparent wall, and the crowd has responded by becoming a single continuous sound. And this ancient human has decided this is the greatest thing that has ever happened. The national anthem before the match gives him full-body chills. Americans do not sing national anthems. Americans perform national anthems. There was a difference, and the difference is approximately 40 decibels and a significant amount of production value. He watches the national anthem with the specific expression of someone who had no idea this was possible and is now rethinking everything. The ancient humans eat burgers and fries. They have been eating carefully all week. They have been drinking water and sleeping properly and doing everything right. Tonight, they are eating burgers and fries at an ice hockey game because sometimes balance means a Tuesday evening where you make the less optimal choice and it is the correct decision. He carries this feeling into training the next morning. The training is better. This is not a coincidence.
Chapter 8. The Next Opponent. The second match in the group stage is against Senegal. Senegal is strong. Senegal is fast. Senegal is dangerous. Senegal qualified with their own perfect record. Senegal has their own tribe members who believe they are the tribe. Senegal has been here before. The ancient human coach draws the new dirt diagram. The dirt diagram has evolved further. It now has a secondary pressing trigger, a mid-block defensive shape, and what appears to be a very specific instruction about one particular opposing midfielder. Nobody is sure what the instruction says. The handwriting in the dirt is unclear. Everyone nods. The 4-mammoth hunter has already nodded. The meeting is technically over. The ancient human striker stands in front of the new dirt diagram and thinks about Senegal, and thinks about the goal in the first match, and thinks about his father putting the cigar away, and thinks about 28 years, and thinks about 8 qualifying wins, and thinks about the rock in 200,000 BC that started all of this, and thinks about the goalkeeper who was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time and has been standing in the wrong place at the wrong time ever since. He stops thinking about it. He goes to train.
There is nothing left to think about. The dirt diagram has been drawn. The 4-mammoth hunter has nodded. The work is the only thing left. Cut to today. Someone is sitting in a specific seat watching the World Cup on a specific screen. They are wearing a shirt they wore the last time their team won. They have a specific arrangement of snacks. The snack arrangement has a logic to it that cannot be explained to non-believers and should not be attempted. Left side of the table for the first half, right side for the second. The drink does not move. Under no circumstances does the drink move.
Their team scores. They stand up, they scream, they spill the snack. The snack arrangement has failed structurally, but the feeling is the feeling, and the feeling is the most alive you have felt since the last time this happened, and you will be back in this exact seat with this exact arrangement for the next match, because that is what you do. Because 60,000 people in a stadium, all making the same sound simultaneously, started with one ancient human who kicked a rock by accident, and another who was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the rock went somewhere. And something happened that cannot be fully explained. And it has not stopped happening since. Nothing has changed in 200,000 years. Not the goalkeeper standing in the wrong place, not the crowd making the sound, not the feeling, not one single thing. The rock is heavier than it looks. It always has been, it always will be.
If you watch this entire animated World Cup in one sitting and you are still here, you are clearly someone who is either already obsessed with this tournament or about to become obsessed, and MrPaint welcomes you to both categories equally. Hit subscribe because ancient humans invented football, and it is linked in the description, and you owe it to the rock that started all of this to watch both videos back to back. Subscribe before the 4-mammoth hunter nods at something before you finish reading this sentence. He has already nodded. You are now head of subscriber strategy. You did not ask for this, you have it. Welcome.